So it is March 12th, 2022, and here I present to more audience what to be one day possibly well known vegan eggless egg salad, tofu eggless egg salad sandwich with a little bit of gochugaru, coarsely ground black pepper, a third of a level teaspoon of cardamom, to what was it? A level tablespoon of approximately a level tablespoon worth of coriander, ground coriander. It was one third of a level teaspoon of ground cardamom, and about 3/4 of a level teaspoon worth of gochugaru Korean red hot chili pepper flakes, about a quarter of a level teaspoon of coarsely ground black pepper. I just wanted to give the measurements. That's why I had to iterate back over a few of those spices. Approximately a level teaspoon worth of parsley flakes, dried parsley flakes. A 1-to-1 ratio, respectively, of one leveled teaspoon of basil and oregano, another level teaspoon of oregano, and one level teaspoon of basil dried. 3 level teaspoons of turmeric, 3 level tablespoons of balsamic, 4 to 5 level tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. I use the first cold extracted variety. And I noticed that it reduces the acidity where I have less of a chance of having acid reflux or acid reflux from it. Yeah, something like that. A quarter of a medium to large sized shallot that I had minced. 5 to 6 medium to large sized cloves of garlic that I had minced as well. 1 level tablespoon of tamari in place of, usually I also include coarsely ground Himalayan pink salt. I did also include 5 level tablespoons approximately of nutritional yeast flakes, 1 slight heaping tablespoon of tahini, a whopping tablespoon or about 4 level tablespoons of the vegan avocado mayo, which is the more pricey ingredient in there, which I consider kind of like vegan bling or food bling. Because there's rosemary extract in there as well, other than avocado oil and stuff like that. Um, and I did put an extra ingredient this time, was a whopping tablespoon of vegenaise or vegan, another form of vegan mayonnaise. It's a soy based one. Yes. I think I mentioned everything. And here I had letting sit for almost the appropriate amount of time, another 30 seconds or so, which it I let more hit or miss cafe latte, soy milk cafe latte. I let it sit there for 5 minutes approximately to get frothy towards the top. It actually goes down quite a ways, the frothiness, after I let it sit there. Okay, I can have a sip of it. It's good. Still thrifty. It's good. I believe that if you let it sit there for quite some time, it alters the chemistry possibly. I also stir it through the soy milk powder before adding the water. I mean, the soy milk powder and the sugar. I stir the freeze dried, non decaffeinated, fair trade organic coffee, those three ingredients. I stir it first. And the amount of soy milk powder is I double the serving size of the soy milk powder, which is normally one serving size is 4 level tablespoons, and I put about 8 in there, halfway up the glass. I think it changes. It does change the the way it behaves and the taste and everything. If you let it sit there for some time, and then also stirring it ahead of time before including the water. Mm. I didn't understand. I didn't. So I was watching videos on chemistry, right? And how they stir things. They just stir things or shake it, and change alters the chemistry sometimes of things. But they're using like solvents and things like that to do the extractions. But I mean, just stirring things supposedly. Mm. I actually think that the proteins in the soy milk powder actually behave alongside with that freeze dried non caffeinated fair trade organic coffee in a certain way. Mm. I'm not sure though. That's all theoretical based on, the way I do notice a difference when I drink it. I'm not sure if it's because of that whole type of. I don't know the molecular structure of the whole, chemical reactions going on. But based on the videos I watched on chemistry, some reactions happen. You got burp. Oh man. Like I know that there are a lot of amino acids and proteins in the soy milk powder, but the way that the freeze dried non decaffeinated fair trade organic coffee behaves in general because of the way it's processed or the way it's manufactured creates kind of like as if there was baking soda in there. I'm not sure if there is. I already mentioned that in like 3 other videos, but the way it behaves, and I noticed that it releases either oxygen or maybe some other type of gas. Maybe it's hydrogen or it's carbonated. Maybe it's carbon. Well, not carbon. It could be like a bond of sort, like some carboxyl type of thing. I never really did any hard research into it, so I don't know. But yeah, just by stirring things, sometimes it changes the way the chemistry is. It releases maybe like hydrogen bonds or something for a few seconds. Which obviously could like truncate some of the chemical structures or create new ones. So, may change the other than just the caffeine, in the coffee, may develop some other type of interaction with the neurotransmitters. So it may have not just been the amount of soy milk powder in relation to the amount of coffee that I use and the amount of sugar I use each time. It may not just be the measurements, it could be the fact that I also stir it at first. I just learned that last night, basically. Never made that observation before. But I came across a number of videos where, yeah, stirring can change just by stirring things. And knowing people who do chemistry, based on like, okay, I've done a lot of reading on computer science and programming. So I can tell whether or not usually you know, if someone's what they're writing about or saying about I could I'm a good lie detector when it comes to or knowing how reputable the information is or being able to decipher the source code and make the correction if there was a screw up along the way. And so when you see a pattern within other topics like a systematic approach to you know organic chemistry or something like that, where stirring is a common thing in the process of the procedure that is being demonstrated in a number of different videos from different sources, but stirring is involved, and so they understand and they're explaining what's going on when they do that process because of what they've read in the textbooks or what they have learned at school or something, overhearing what goes on, and that's based on like you know hard more hardcore science that, let's say, would require better equipment that they may have not have access to in the classroom or even at home, but let's say the molecular scientists are able to compute like what the chemical the way what bonds are being released based off of not just where they may have some ability of, let's say, knowing what solvent would release what type of bonds depending on what it's being mixed with, or something like that, and or what type of liquid they're going to use to dilute it. But I mean, so they may be able to know what bonds are being released if and how the chemical structure may change by doing so, visually speaking, with the tools available to them, other than, let's say, the hardcore research that was documented in their textbooks from scientists that have access to computers running special software to do the molecular anatomical calculations and things like that. 10 seconds is up.